2022 has been an eventful year for us, mostly in a good way. In January, we began to explore vacation rentals for the summer to get a break from the desert heat. We considered returning to the Oregon coast, but we were unable to find a decent place to rent. We had been to Central Oregon together once before, so we decided to consider Bend. We found a vacation rental which we reserved, but as I started to study the area online, we decided to explore investing in a home. I flew to Bend in early February to look at property, and we found a house. By late March, we had closed escrow, and I was on my way to Bend with a U-Haul trailer to start getting the house set up. After some initial setup, I drove home, starting out during a snowstorm. I drove back in April with a bike and kayak on the roof of Louie's car and did some more setup before flying home. A few days later, we all left the desert for the drive north, and we arrived on May 1st. We spent most of the spring and early summer getting the home furnished and set up. Bend is at an elevation of over 3,800 feet above sea level, so the weather was quite variable in May. We experienced rain, snow, and sleet before it finally warmed up in June. We really enjoyed our first summer in Bend. I got to hit many different golf courses, and the fishing in Central Oregon can be quite good.
Oh! I got him.
Someone down there. Got him. It wasn't here. Someone's getting ready to pull anchor. I said, hold on.
Come here, you little booger.
A little spunk to him.
He does.
It was also great to reconnect with Doctors Lisa and Mark, who we knew in San Francisco in the mid-90s.
Buddy and Pepper also had a great summer. They enjoyed the backyard with its lush lawn and deck. They also really loved the nearby Alpenglow Park with its large off-leash area.
Although most of the landscaping was fine, the western side yard was a mess. The bushes were ugly and there was nothing to provide privacy between us and the neighbor on that side. I had 3 large trees planted, but the placement of the trees required that the irrigation pipes be rerouted. When I finished, we had trees along the fence, roses next to the house, and lawn in between. I had never had roses before, and I was really pleased at how well they did this summer.
Our friends Kyle and Ben drove up from San Francisco in August and spent a week with us as we celebrated Kyle's birthday. We had a great time with them, tubing on the river, rafting, fishing. It was really fun.
Woohoo! And he's off. You okay? Yeah, I'm glad it was hot.
Our friend Diane came up in September, and we played 4 straight days of golf. I was beat after the last day.
Hey, Mark.
Where are you?
We're on the Upper Deschutes by Big Eddy.
You got it right. Perfect.
We drove back to the desert in mid-September, but I flew back to Bend to do some house projects. My primary project was to redo the master walk-in closet, which turned out really well. I closed up the house for the winter and returned to the desert in mid-October.
The desert weather is great this time of year. Pepper and Buddy are loving the sunny weather. I think we left just in time, as winter has begun in Bend. We had a really nice Thanksgiving, hosting Kyle and Ben, plus a great holiday feast for our family of friends.
This year was mostly good, but we did have a few challenges. Louie had issues with his knees that required surgery, once in February and again in June. But he's bounced back and is doing well. Both boys had to have dental surgery, but they're also doing fine. Buddy has had some issues with his liver, but we're managing that, and he is good. They bring us so much joy.
From all of us to all of you, Merry Christmas
and a Happy New Year.